What is up, beautiful people? This is going to be a bit of a long video, but I want to start it off by saying that I'm not here to argue, and I am for sure not here to claim that I know it all. But when somebody publicly breaks down my video and tries to take the piss out of my beliefs, not with understanding, but with misrepresentation, sometimes it's important to respond, not with anger, but with clarity. This video is a response necessarily to Michael Toon, who's recently attempted to debunk my work and the flat earth perspective. We're going to walk through his claims calmly, intelligently and honestly. Not to shame him whatsoever, but to show just how often truth is misunderstood when filtered through arrogance and assumption. So if you've ever wondered how science can be used to defend a lie, or how someone can contradict themselves without even noticing, then this one's for you. Let's start the video.
In this video, I'm going to show you the extreme gullibility of flat earthers and how they have zero effort put in to determining whether or not something is accurate.
See, so straight off the bat here, we're not looking at an honest discussion. We're looking at a character assassination on me. He doesn't start by addressing any evidence. He starts by attacking my integrity. Claims that I put zero effort into my truth or my accuracy without even knowing me, or the hundreds of hours that I've spent studying scripture, science, ancient history and first-hand observation. You see, this is the problem. Truth-seeking isn't about mocking people from a distance. It's about being willing to unlearn and look deeper. And ironically, the very people that he's calling gullible are the ones doing just that.
Puts that music under his video. He's doing it for a very specific purpose. It's to make the people more susceptible to the lies he's about to tell and the deceptions that he's putting into his videos here. Then he goes on to say that everything we know about the moon is just a theory. In fact, most of the things we know about the moon are facts. Theory is a completely different thing, which is a completely fine thing to have in science. He thinks it's a guess. These things that we know about the moon are not guesses.
Okay, so instantly we've moved from character attacks to sound design conspiracies. He's genuinely claiming that the background music I use is some kind of psychological weapon, as if I'm hypnotizing you into deception. Can we just pause for a second here? You're watching a 60-second video on TikTok with a song that's probably trending already, and that's somehow enough to override your ability to think. The only thing more insulting than that claim is the idea that you should trust him instead, because everything we know about the moon is fact. Really? So no unknowns, no contradictions, no change in scientific models over time. We've apparently gone from science is evolving to we know everything and it's all a fact, just no guesses. It's funny when I say that what of most we know about the moon is a theory and I get laughed at. But when NASA say that the moon is 238,855 miles away, held there by invisible gravity, reflecting sunlight perfectly onto Earth without ever spinning, that's just accepted as fact. Ultimately, I use music to create emotion. He uses smugness to create submission. You tell me which one's more dangerous.
Whether or not it's completely due to the moonlight or not, I don't know, but it was definitely warmer in the moonlight. So there, I've done it myself, and flat earthers, they do a terrible job of it. Now here's the big kicker. Energy is transmitted through light. There's a relationship between the wavelength of the light and how much energy is transmitted by it. So for moonlight to cause something to get colder, it would have to remove energy from that object. Meaning it would have to have a negative frequency. Now this is not possible, it's just a ridiculous thing to even think about. But if you did want to think about it, you could say that it has a negative frequency, therefore it's traveling backward in time, and that somehow when you go to I love this part. The light is hitting the surface of something, taking away the heat and moving it to the moon in the past. That's what flat earthers are actually claiming when they say moonlight is cold. This is ridiculous. If that happened, it would be a violation of the first law of thermodynamics, and every scientist on the globe would jump all over it to be the first one to get the Nobel Prize.
So, instead of addressing what people actually say, that moonlight appears to have a cooling effect, he tries to rewrite the claim into somewhat a sci-fi parody, that light travels back in time and beams heat to the moon. Nobody ever said that. Not one flat earther has ever claimed that the moon is absorbing heat from the ground in reverse time. All we ever said that multiple people have observed that objects in direct moonlight are colder than those in the moon shade, including him. That is it. That observation alone contradicts the official narrative that moonlight is simply reflected sunlight. You know, if he's saying that that's a violation of the first law of thermodynamics, then why did his own experiment, by his own words, show that moonlit surface was warmer than the shaded one? Either his experiment is flawed or the phenomenon needs deeper investigation. You know, this isn't about time travel or Nobel Prizes. It's about humbling ourselves to admit that maybe, just maybe, what we were taught isn't the full truth, and we're willing to explore that, you know, not completely take the piss and ridicule it. Okay, this video is going on for so much longer than I wanted it to, but there is so much more of his video to break down, and I don't want to bore you, so stick around for part 2 if you want to see any more of this. And obviously I'm as fictional as a dinosaur, baby.